Hello, my diet tribe. It's me again, your diabetes diva in Kiruka. Welcome to another series of Let's Talk Diabetes with Kiruka. So today I'll be talking about diabetes and physical activity. In the first 5 years after my diagnosis, there were far too many contradictions about diabetes, its management, and exercise. And one of them was getting involved with any form of physical activity as a person living with diabetes. This was greatly discouraged because then it was thought that, oh, if you're living with type 1 diabetes on insulin, doing any form of physical activity can get you like a hypo episode. So it was kind of like greatly discouraged. But the good news is that as a person living with diabetes, as part of the cardinal rules, you need to be involved with physical activity to help you manage your blood sugar levels better, whether you're living with type 1 or type 2. And you also have to be aware that you could experience either a low blood sugar or a high blood sugar during any form of physical activity. So if you're on blood glucose lowering medications such as insulin or tablets that cause your pancreas to secrete insulin, it is recommended that you test your blood sugar levels frequently during and after an exercise activity to see how your blood sugar levels respond to the exercise. In the beginning, I used to keep a diary to give me a bigger picture of how exercise affects the different activities I get myself involved with. And as a person living with diabetes, you also need to be aware of when your blood glucose runs low and when your blood sugars run high during physical activity. So I'm going to start off by talking about low blood sugar awareness and physical activity. This usually happens during or after exercise when the body has used up like all the glucose stores. And it's also important to know that being physically active makes your body more sensitive to insulin, especially in the next 48 hours after you've had an exercise. So for persons on insulin or oral diabetes medications that stimulate the pancreas to produce insulin, you have to be aware of this. And you need to also take into account and adjust your medication accordingly to avoid a hypo episode after hours of physical activity. So the next thing I'll be talking about is high blood sugar, which can also happen during exercise, especially when you've had like short burst of strenuous activity. So during a strenuous activity, the stress response produces glucagon. This is a hormone that is also produced by the pancreas. So the alpha cells in the pancreas secrete this hormone, and this hormone actually counteracts the action of insulin, and thus your blood sugars get elevated. So the next question I'm going to ask is, how does the body regulate blood glucose levels during exercise? When you begin to exercise, glucose stores in the muscles are like mobilized and used as the major source of energy during that physical activity. So the glucose take up by the muscles is now balanced by the release of glucose from the liver. So this kind of like balances everything out, and the amount of glucose during physical activity from your liver stores can get limited, and as a result you become hypoglycemic when you've been very active for a long time. And the next question is, how does the body now regulate these blood glucose levels after exercise? So following an exercise, the body will now try to replenish the glycogen stores by now taking up that excess blood sugar levels that you have in your blood. And this is the reason why blood sugar levels tend to go lower after an exercise session. So this is like particularly very helpful in persons living with type 2 diabetes that are treated with tablets or lifestyle modification, because this helps reduce the amount of glucose levels after activity. So for persons with type 2, exercise is a must because it really, really, really helps in taking up all that excess uh, glucose in the blood and stored in the liver, and thus your blood sugar kind of like balances out and you're good. So lastly, I would advise that you should always like check your blood sugars prior to exercise, and ideally the target range for your blood sugars before any exercise should be between 90 to 250 milligram per dl or 5 to 13 millimole per liter, depending on the blood sugar monitor that you're using. So if your blood sugar is like below 90 milligram per deciliter or 5 millimole per liter, you need to take a carbohydrate based snack before exercising. So remember, always discuss with your healthcare professionals about all your exercise routine. Understand how your body reacts to every form of physical activity. The best recommended exercises that keep your blood sugars in target range are like swimming, dancing, and walking. So remember, like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. And I'm looking forward to having you in my next video series on Let's Talk Diabetes with Nkirika. Bye, guys. See you later. Bye.